Okay, so, we're back,
Hmm.
and you've given us more to work with, more Tom, more Zara. It's like we opened to the middle of a book this time.
Yeah, yeah, it feels that way. A continuation. For those of you listening, those who are already in the thick of this story, we are going to keep diving deep into Tom and this whole Zara situation, this new batch of, let's call them documents. These excerpts, they're calling it texto colado. And yeah, it gets pretty weird pretty fast.
Yeah, I mean, we're just trying to figure out what
Yeah.
happened to Tom, what's going on, and there's still so much we don't know about Marifa and Shad. I mean, who is Tom, really? What even is Zara? And what's the deal with this Marifa? And then there's this Amandla. I don't know. It's a lot.
Well, let's take it one step at a time. The new stuff picks up with Tom trying to learn Quran. It's like the main language they speak in Zara. Like it's what everyone in all the major Zara cities speaks. It's a gift from Kar, it says. And get this, he's picking it up so easily, way faster than, learning a new language here. Because apparently the grammar, the way it works, it's something he already understands.
Whoa, wait, that's not just Tom being good with languages, right?
Well,
That's like deeper. Like he's, I don't know, remembering it. Like he already knew it somehow.
yeah.
And he's got this tutor, Jusuf Kar. And right away, Jusuf Kar tells him that name. That's
Yeah.
just like his social name. Like his real name is different. It's like Zara has a whole different way of thinking about names and who you are, right?
Yeah, definitely. Very different. But then Tom gets hungry and remembers he has no money.
Classic Tom. Always getting ahead of himself.
Right. And while he's standing there, kind of bummed out, this group walks in and it describes them as imposing, which I thought was interesting. And Tom, he can't take his eyes off Dishkar the way she's described. She's really tall, graceful, almost like a god, like Kar, maybe.
And Dishkar,
Yeah.
she feels something too, right? Like a familiarity she hasn't felt in a long time, like some kind of recognition. And then she walks right up to Tom and calls him Marifa.
Yeah, and Tom's like, no, you've got the wrong guy. But yeah, I know that name, Marifa. And then Dishkar, she's really interested in Tom's world, in Earth, in Terra, and she can't believe we don't have gods or magic. Like Zara's whole concept of art, it's basically what we call magic here. It's like magic's just woven into their existence, you
Right,
know.
right. Like it's not something separate. It's just how things work.
Hmm.
And then she asks him, Dishkar asks Tom if he has his old memories. What does he even mean?
Yeah, right. Tom's pretty insistent that no, he's just himself. He's just Tom, and Marifa is someone else. But then, just like that, she offers to send him back to his original world, to Earth, and she touches his forehead, and everything goes dark.
Whoa. Like a blackout.
Exactly, exactly. And when he can see it, he's in this stone room, and it's dark, and he's not in his own body anymore. He's in some other body that's really heavy. He can barely move.
So wait, is he? Is he back in the golem?
No, no, this isn't the golem. This is something different, something new. And then he realizes he's in the Magos castle, like the actual castle floating out in space, and it's huge, way bigger than it seemed before.
Okay. So he's in the castle. Then what? What's there?
Well, he starts walking around, and he comes to the garden. And it's not like any garden we've ever seen, right? It describes it as an unnatural garden, like the trees,
Yeah.
they're all golden, and there's this light, this bright light. And it turned out to be a white dwarf.
A white dwarf.
Yeah, like a dying star. That's what was lighting the castle. And then at the edge of the path, there was this silver chair. It had all these decorations and writing and gems. Like it was super important. And
Wait, the silver chair? Like the silver sofa?
he thought the same thing. Like, could they be connected somehow? But he sits in the chair and nothing happens. It's just kind of comfortable.
So what happens next? Does he go inside?
Yeah. The door's huge, but it opens really easily. He figures because there's no air, no atmosphere up there. And the hall inside, it's massive, like 10 stories tall. And there are these chandeliers floating in the air, all lit up. But other than that, it's mostly empty. There are 10 of these covered structures, and then there's a little table with a folded piece of paper on it.
Okay. And what about Tom? What does he look like now? Is he still in that new body?
Yeah, he's still in that other body. It's like a machine made of polished stone and metal and wood. There are all these gears and stuff. And his fingers, they're like marble. But the weird thing is, it doesn't seem that strange to him anymore. Like he's almost used to it.
Wow. That's weird. So what's on the paper?
It's a drawing of the hall, and there's an arrow pointing to one of the covered things. Like it's telling him to go look there.
Oh, that's creepy. So he does.
Yeah, he goes over and takes the cover off, and there's a painting of a kid, this little kid with purple skin and green eyes
Yeah.
and little horns and pointed ears, a tiny mouth, and a tail, like a devil tail, and someone's holding them, someone bigger.
Okay.
And he's looking at this painting and he starts to remember things, like flashes of memories. They're all jumbled up, playing, running, chanting, laughing, and then he remembers dying.
Whoa, whose memories are those?
The Magos. It was a short life. But Tom, he feels connected to this kid in the painting, like it's him or part of him.
That's a lot to take in. So then what happens?
He starts to hear voices, and his vision gets blurry. And then there's this pain, and he wakes up.
He's back in the hospital.
Yeah. Rafa, Tiana, Suzy, they're all there. Mandy, too. And Tom, he's just so relieved that everyone's okay. Nobody else got hurt.
That's good. So he's only out for a night.
Yeah, just one night. It's Tuesday morning now.
Wow. That's not a lot of time for everything that happened. So does he tell them, his friends, about what happened?
He tries. He tells them about the demon and almost dying and how he learns magic in Zara while he's sleeping here and how he used it to fight. But, I mean, Mandy's not buying it, of course.
Right. Sounds pretty crazy.
Yeah. But Tom's describing Zara and he's giving all these details. And Mandy's starting to think, maybe it's not just some story he made up.
Right. It's just too specific, too weird to be made up. But then the nurse comes in, and that's the end of that conversation.
Yeah. And then the doctor comes in and checks him over, asks him some questions about what happened. And Tom he keeps it vague. He doesn't mention Zara or anything. Then his parents come to visit. And it seems like they already know what happened, like someone told them. But they're just focused on him getting better.
Okay, so then what?
So he's lying there in the hospital bed trying to get some sleep. And he hears this sound, this meowing sound.
What is that? Yeah.
Shed. Wah. She's back. And this time she's not just a blue image. She's really there. And she's got these delicate features and her eyes are kind of slanted and she doesn't seem to have a mouth. And her hair is super long, like it covers her whole body. And she's got this tail, this big tail that moves around on its own.
Mm-hmm.
And that bird with the claws, it's still on her shoulder.
Whoa, that's intense. So what does she want?
She's pleased with how Tom handled that creature, but she's not happy that he had to use cheap charms. And then she's like straight up. She wants Marifa back. She wants her away from Tom's mind.
Oh, okay. So that confirms it then. They're connected somehow, Tom and Marifa. But why? Why would the Mygo run from a god?
Tom asks her that, and Shad says it's because Marifa's afraid of losing her physical form. Like she had to put so much effort into maintaining this form, this human form, that she's scared to lose it.
Oh, so even a god can be afraid.
Well, yeah. And then things get a little weird. Shad's tail, it starts, I don't know, getting closer to Tom, like it have a mind of its own.
Ooh, that's creepy. So what happens to Tom if Marifa goes back to Shad?
He asks that too, and Shad says she can separate them, send him to Zara, or maybe some other plane of existence. She starts talking about, fighting monsters and seeing incredible places, like she's trying to tempt him. And she even suggests that maybe he could live forever, before going somewhere else, wherever she sends him. And then she kisses him on the hair and closes his eyes.
And he's back in the hospital.
Yeah. Back in the hospital bed, exhausted.
So what does he do?
He decides to try to sleep again. He needs to think, right? He's got to make sense of all this. So he closes his eyes and he dreams. He's back in that yard where he first met the Mago, sitting on that wooden bench. But this time, when the figure comes out of the house, it's not the other Tom.
Who is it this time?
It's, it looks a lot like Shad, but different. Emerald green skin, white clothes, red hair, but it's like reptilian hair and it's in braids and red eyes and a shorter tail and these claws, sharp claws. And the creature, it sits down next to Tom on the bench and it's like, hey, this is how we looked a long time ago before we took this form, your form, to talk about the past.
Okay, so hold on. So the Mago is saying she was a woman or something like a woman.
That's what Tom asked, yeah. And the Mago gets all embarrassed, like it's not something she wants to talk about. And Tom's like, well, what about the golem? That was a guy, right?
Good point.
Yeah. And the Mago explains that in Zara, women have the real power. So that's the form she usually takes. The golem, the Gagamo.
Yeah.
That was just useful, for doing things.
Yeah, I see. So it was all strategic.
It's a disguise.
Yeah, exactly. And then the Mago starts talking about reincarnation and how there's not really a lot of choice in it. Like she's been everything, lived all these different lives, adapted to all these different cultures.
She just goes with the flow.
Pretty much, yeah. And Tom points out that she looks a lot like Shad. And the Mogo's like, yeah, well, she has been looking for you, but she really wants me.
So it all comes back to Marifa. But why? Why does Shad want her so badly?
That's what Tom wants to know too, right?
Yeah.
So the Mogo starts explaining. Back on Enya, it's like this whole other planet, right? They had 3 gods, Shad, Nyla, and Memitter.
3 gods.
Yeah, yeah. And Nyla, she was the top god. Like, their whole culture was based on her. Memitter, he was the god of, like, making stuff, like machines and things. And then there was Shad, who was, well, nobody really liked her. She was kind of taboo.
Yeah.
Nyla hated her, thought she was, like, immoral. So Shad's followers, they had to hide. Oh, wow. So everyone was born with Nyla's blessing.
Yeah.
But you could choose to follow a different god later on.
That's what it sounds like, yeah. But Tom, he's like, why would anyone choose Shad then?
That's a good question.
Yeah, so the Mago explains that, Enya, it wasn't really that great. It was all perfect on the surface, but really it was super controlling. Like, they controlled everything. And Shad, she offered something different, like forbidden knowledge, but it came at a price. And her temples, they were hard to find because Nyla was always trying to shut them down. So it was like this whole underground thing.
So Emu was like a dictatorship with Nyla as the dictator.
Basically, yeah. And Kar, the god in Zara. She doesn't seem to be like that. She lets people do their own thing, more or less.
Interesting. Okay, so that's Enya. But how does the Mago fit into all of this?
Well, the Mago, she wanted more, right. More knowledge, more power. She didn't like how limited Nyla's magic was. Mimir's stuff was better. He had all these automatons that he controlled with a mandala.
There's that word again, a mandala.
Right. We still don't really know what it is, but it's obviously important. Anyway, the Mago, she had a friend who figured out how to use a mandala, how it really worked. But then someone killed him for it.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And that's when the Mago decided she had to find Shad.
But Shad, she's like a myth, right? Where do you even start looking for a god?
Her last temple, it was in this really messed up part of Enya, the Veil of Eternal Darkness. It was always dark there because of Denfa, like permanently night. Really scary place.
And the Mago went there.
Eventually, yeah. But she admits that. She was putting it off. She wanted to stay cool Mago for as long as possible. But to do this reincarnation thing, this cycle of rebirth, she needed a special ritual. And the ritual had to be done in that castle in space.
The castle, where Tom is now.
Exactly. And to do the ritual, Shad demanded a huge amount of mandala. Like an impossible amount. And the Mago thinks maybe that was intentional. Maybe Shad wanted it to be impossible.
So how did she do it then? How did she get that much mandala?
Well, she doesn't say it right away. She kind of hesitates. But then she tells Tom. To get enough mandala, she had to kill 3 entire planets.
She destroyed 3 planets.
Yeah. Just like that. And she says she's sorry, but she doesn't regret it.
Oh, wow. That's,
Yeah.
I mean, how can you even process something like that? And then what? What happens next?
Dream ends there, but the Mago says she'll finish the story next time Tom dreams.
So Tom wakes up,
Mhm.
and he's back in Zara.
Yep. In his nice, comfortable bed in Zara. And he's speechless. He can't believe what he's learned about the Mago, about her past, about what she did.
So what now? What are we supposed to make of all this?
Well, Tom's in a tough spot, right? He's stuck between Shad and a Mago with a pretty messed up past. And we still have so many questions. Like, what does it even mean to kill a planet? And what happened to those planets? And what does it mean for Tom? And what is Shad really after? We got a lot of information to think about.
Yeah, we do. You know, this deep dive, it's a lot to wrap your head around. It's like we just jumped ahead several chapters. But maybe that's what we needed to really get a sense of the stakes here.
It does make you think, right? Like, how far would you go to get what you want? What would you sacrifice? I mean, 3 planets, that's a lot to think about. It makes you question everything.
It really does.
I think we'll leave it there for you to ponder.
Yeah, and we'll see what other revelations are waiting for us in Tom's next dream.